Welcome, your war chief is back with another epic video. Hi, my name's Peebiggy, but you lovely people are more than welcome to call me Peebs. Today I'm looking back at Cataclysm, and I think it's time to be honest. It wasn't as bad as I thought. Stay with me here. I finally got all of the lore. Finally. And we'll talk. If you like these types of videos, lore, or just nerdy stuff in general, honey, you're in the right spot. Hit that subscribe button. Because listen, we tend to do nerdy here pretty well. Alright, let's stop messing around and jump into why Cataclysm is better than you remember. Right now. Alright, let's start here. How was Cataclysm for me? I started in Lich King, and I'm gonna be honest, I didn't really get heavy into the lore until about Pandaria. So I wasn't that into it. I liked to raid, but the lore... I played through Cataclysm and understood absolutely fucking nothing. Dragons? Cool. Dragon Soul? The raid? Okay, sounds good. Thrall saving us with this Dragon Soul? Sure, he seems like he's nice. A tentacle dragon fight? What the fuck? Listen, I was lost. I couldn't follow the plot past Big Bad Dragon is bad. Lich King had a short video when you first installed the disc, yes, I've been playing that long, where at least they gave you the gist of what was going on. Cataclysm? Other than the bad dragon being bad, the lore presented in-game was confusing and I was straight up lost. Now, today we know that they put all their work into the level 1 to 60 experience, and they really lacked time for story writing and building in Cataclysm. So we know there's some fundamental flaws with Cataclysm. But why is it better than I originally thought? Now, we've mentioned this before on this channel, and I'm not afraid to say it again. I am not a fan of the need to read books outside of an RPG to get what's going on in it. It's an MMORPG. RPG is in the genre. And to be perfectly honest, Cataclysm suffered from that probably the most. Legion did too. But Legion was better written so that any player could just jump in and play it and kind of get what was going on, even though most of the story was found in books. Ironically, the same books as Cataclysm. Either way, I finally read the lore. I read all 3 War of the Ancient books very recently. And yes, you didn't need just 1 book to understand Cataclysm, you needed 3. And the background lore is great. It is fantastic. It is groundbreaking. Literally. And now I understand Deathwing's madness. The plates on him, which, yeah, he asked for that. He begged to have those plates put in to make him a stronger dragon in his madness. Why there were cultists around that had tentacles and stuff? It was N'Zoth. Spoiler alert, it was N'Zoth. I also understand the need to create a dragon soul with the soul of the aspects in it. Basically, they needed their souls because they didn't have all of the souls to go against the Deathwing. Deathwing is an aspect, and fighting with an old god. So bitch, they needed some special stuff. I'm also going to go out on a limb here and admit something which you guys can totally make fun of me for. I didn't know that N'Zoth was involved in all this bullshit until BFA. Because it was never actually said out loud. It was expected out of the books. The tentacle fight that I've complained about 1,000 times. Why is it a tentacle fight? Why is it not a dragon fight? N'Zoth has tentacles. Who knew? So yes, Cataclysm's lore is actually good. The ideas made sense. And if you would have read these books before Cataclysm came out, and then watched the trailer for Cataclysm, Y'all would have slipped right out of your chairs. Just saying. But this expansion made sense for the people that read the books. Everyone else, though, y'all were fucked. So is Cataclysm better than I originally thought? Yes. Very much a yes. Is it still the worst expansion? Very much a yes. Two major things destroy this expansion. One, the amount of time we were trying to kill Deathwing. That raid lasted eons. It was so long before a new expansion came out, it was hard. And two, players walked in not knowing a damn thing if you didn't read those books. 3 books. Now, I said this in the beginning and I'm going to say it again. Yes, the writing suffered because they spent their time with the 1 to 60 experience. I'm also going to go out on a limb here and say that the writing also suffered because there was a certain expectation of Warcraft players. Most Warcraft players, they expected would know Deathwing, or at least enough of Deathwing to just pick up the story from where it's at. There was very little onboarding to really get new players into it, or players that haven't been playing for a while, and it failed miserably. Today it's less of a problem. We bring in new players through the newest expansion possible, and there's a lot of little cutscenes that they can kind of follow along to see what's going on. A thing that I would really like Blizz to introduce is maybe a section of shorts, either in-game or on a YouTube channel, just as like, I don't know, Lore Walker Cho walking us through what happened at the Sundering and stuff. Just a thought. And just to show you how much the story suffered because of the poor writing, let's compare it to Legion. And the reason why I'm comparing it to Legion is all of Legion's histories, the locations, the people that you meet. They're from the same 3 books, but you didn't need them to follow along. You knew what was going on to a certain degree. You knew Xavius taking Malfurion was a bad thing. I mean, you didn't know how much beef Xavius really had with Malfurion, but you didn't need to. You knew he was bad. You knew Tyrande didn't like the Nightborn. She hates him. She mentions a small sentence in the game that really lets it on. You don't understand as a player how much she hates them and how much what they did affected her. You get that in the books. But you've got enough to know that that's why they chose Horde versus Alliance. Still salty. Not gonna lie. But still. So this is where storytelling comes in and where it is so much better in Legion versus Cataclysm. And yes, that's night versus day. Legion is one of the best expansions they've ever dropped versus Cataclysm the worst, but in my opinion, that's why. I'm also going to add a side note, and yes, this is repetitive. I hate how Blizz shoves all the lore in books. And I'm glad that Blizzard's finally cluing in and kind of stepping away from that. Their last few books, Eastern Kingdoms and Shadows Rising, are companion books. It makes the lore bigger. You understand more of it, but no one needed Shadows Rising to go into Shadowlands. That's it, and that's what I want. And side note number 2, I highly recommend War of the Ancients, all 3 of those books. If you can find them on sale, like a Humble Bundle or something like I did, or ebooks, or buy them in hard copy, whatever, they're fantastic. And they're good enough that even if you're not like super into the lore, easy to follow. Honestly, great books. Alright, so what did you think? Were you aware of all the lore implications when Cataclysm was out? Or did you learn about it all after? It's okay if you didn't know. I didn't. Let me know in the comment section down below. If you like this video, give me a big old thumbs up. If you didn't, well, cool. Let me know. I'm a big girl. I can handle it. Bonus points if you tell me why you didn't like it. Feedback is the best way to improve. If you like lore, you like deep dives, you like Warcraft, Dungeons and Dragons, nerdy stuff, or me, hit that subscribe button. And while you're down there, ring that bell. That way you'll get notifications for all my upcoming videos. And yes, that notification bell will go off on Wednesdays, 7:30 p.m. Eastern, where we are right here playing Warcraft. It's like a LAN party. It's nerdy, it's fun, it's exactly what you'd expect from me, let's be real. All of my socials, my Discord, Twitch, you name it, is in the description box. I'm super easy to find, and I stream a lot. If you made it this far, I'm going to leave my last video up in this corner, I believe it is. Probably. It's a look at the new payment options, or removal of, Blizzard introduced last week. And no, that's not a clickbait title. Blizz fucked up. And we discuss. Alright, well, I love you all very much. Have a legendary day, and thanks again for stopping by. I can't wait to see you guys on the next one. Bye. Alright, stay with me. The Sundering, Illidan's betrayal and imprisonment, Deathwing's betrayal, Ashara turning into the squid sexy monster that we know her as, Suramar being saved, / their betrayal, the life tree being created, all happened at the same fucking time. And Tyrande went through it all. No wonder she doesn't put up with anybody's bullshit. I wouldn't either.